You ever feel like life keeps hitting you from every direction? Like no matter how hard you try to stay strong, something always comes along to knock you off balance? Bills stack up, relationships stretch thin, plans fall apart, and the more you resist, the more exhausted you feel. That's where Daniel found himself. 42 years old, recently laid off, mortgage unpaid, pride bruised. He sat in his car one night outside a closed grocery store, hands gripping the wheel, thinking, how did it all go so wrong? That's when a memory of his grandfather surfaced, a quiet man with weathered hands and calm eyes, who once told him, "The bamboo that bends in the wind doesn't break." Back then it sounded poetic. Now it sounded like survival. The next morning, Daniel woke up early, not because he had a plan, but because he couldn't sleep with all that weight pressing down on him. He walked through a nearby park, empty at dawn, and found himself drawn to a cluster of tall bamboo stalks swaying gently in the breeze. Something about their movement calmed him. They didn't resist the wind. They moved with it. And yet, they stood tall. That moment stayed with him. He didn't have a job yet, or clarity, or answers. But he made a decision. He would stop trying to control everything. Instead of breaking under pressure, he would bend. He applied for jobs that scared him. He reached out to people he hadn't spoken to in years. He started saying yes to opportunities even if they didn't fit his old plans. Meanwhile, across the country, a woman named Lisa had faced a different kind of storm. At 37, she was a single mother of two, recently diagnosed with breast cancer. Her first instinct was to be strong for her kids, to put on a brave face and fight. But behind closed doors, she was falling apart. It wasn't until a nurse told her quietly, "It's okay to fall, as long as you get back up," that something clicked. Lisa stopped pretending she was unshakable. She cried when she needed to. She accepted help. She laughed again, even during chemo. And her kids? They didn't need a superhero. They needed a mother who showed them how to stay soft and survive. Like bamboo, she bent, but she never broke. Both Daniel and Lisa learned something most of us forget in the rush of modern life. Strength isn't always about standing tall and unmoved. Sometimes it's about the quiet courage to adapt. We're taught that success means control, dominance, unshakable confidence. But real life isn't a straight path. It twists, it knocks you down, and if you're too rigid, you snap. The bamboo thrives because it doesn't resist the storm. It flows with it. Daniel eventually landed a job he never expected, helping others rebuild their careers. Lisa began speaking to support groups, her voice trembling at first, then steady. What they both found was not just survival, but growth. Not in spite of the pressure, but because of it. This idea that flexibility is a form of power has deep roots in ancient wisdom. Japanese monks used to meditate in bamboo groves, listening to the wind rustle through the stalks, learning not just from silence, but from movement. Martial artists train to redirect force, not resist it. Even in nature, trees that sway survive hurricanes, while those that stiffen often fall. Yet somehow, in our everyday lives, we forget this. We armor ourselves with pride, with routine, with fear of change. But the truth is, every time life pushes us, whether through loss, failure, or uncertainty, it's offering us a choice: break or bend. The ones who grow, who rise, are almost always the ones who choose to bend. So the next time the world feels heavy, when plans fall apart, when fear creeps in, when nothing goes the way you hoped, remember the bamboo. Remember that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "I will not break." Be like Daniel, be like Lisa. Let the wind come, let it shape you. Bend when you need to, rest when you must, and trust that flexibility is not weakness. It's resilience in motion. Because those who bend, heal, they adapt, they rise. And in the end, they stand taller than before. The storm will pass. And when it does, you'll still be here, rooted, renewed, and unbroken.